video.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Universalist Unitarian Church of Peoria. We are one of the oldest churches in this area, and we also are proud to say that we are in the land that was originally conserved by the Peoria Nations. We welcome you. We welcome those of you who have been looking for a church home. Those of you who have wondered, where can I go and express my feelings? Those of you who've been lonely. And those of you who have been looking for community. We welcome you.
And now what's happening in our church? There are many ways for you to connect during the week. On Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. is our Joys and Sorrows, where you can come and just share a joy or a sorrow and just enjoy connecting with one another. That's at 7 p.m. And then our Adult RE is at 7, and we are going to listen to a TED Talk all about racism and then have a discussion afterwards, so we welcome you to come to that. And then on Friday morning, we have muffin chat with the ministers, and who knows, we might share some of our good homemade blueberry muffins with you this week. We invite you to register for General Assembly. Instructions are in the builder. You can also go on to the UUA General Assembly site. It will be 100% virtual, and the cost is $150. We're nearing the end of our pledge drive, and I just want to say thank you to all those of you who have pledged and those who have been generous. We are not quite there yet, and so I'm asking you to dig deep. Those of you who haven't had an opportunity yet to pledge, or maybe never pledged, we ask you to make a donation. This is an opportunity to say that you really support the work of this church. More than 80% of our operating expense comes from our pledges. And so we just ask you to dig deep, and those who haven't pledged yet to pledge. Those of you who have pledged and would like to do more, welcome for that. And those of you who have never pledged, take the time to make a donation. Send in a check, go to our website. We ask you to consider seriously giving money to the church. Our coffee hour today will be after the meeting. And next week, we invite you after the service to stay tuned for the annual meeting. Now, this is an opportunity for you to vote on the next year's, vote on the people who are going to be leaving you, the new members of the board, as well as pass some of the new bylaws that help us in our governance, and also approve a budget for next year. This is an important meeting. It's an opportunity for you to say what you believe and show it by your support. In the annual campaign meeting, committee is offering 2 prizes for people who have pledged and for people who show up. So we ask you, mark your calendar for next week after the service, and please plan to attend our annual meeting. Our opening words this morning will be by Summer Lively, and after that, we will have our opening song, which is Wake Now, My Senses.
Good morning, friends. Today's reading is called Affirmation by Assata Shakur. I believe in living. I believe in the spectrum of beta days and gamma people. I believe in sunshine, in windmills and waterfalls, tricycles and rocking chairs. And I believe that seeds grow into sprouts, and sprouts grow into trees. I believe in the magic of the hands and the wisdom of the eyes. I believe in rain and tears and in the blood of infinity. I believe in life, and I have seen the death parade march through the torso of the earth, sculpting mud bodies in its path. I have seen the destruction of daylight and seen bloodthirsty maggots prayed to and saluted. I have seen the kind become the blind, and the blind become the bind in one easy lesson. I have walked on cut glass. I have eaten crow and blunderbread and breathed the stench of indifference. I have been locked by the lawless, handcuffed by the haters, gagged by the greedy, and if I know anything at all, it's that a wall is just a wall and nothing more at all. It can be broken down. I believe in living. I believe in birth. I believe in the sweat of love and the fire of truth. And I believe that a lost ship steered by tired, seasick sailors can still be guided home to port. So may it be.
Senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now, my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now, compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the wide sky. Take as your neighbor both stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardships to end. Wake now, my conscience, with justice thy guide. Join with all
And now we have another treat, Gene Burke, to share with you why he is a member of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Peoria. And after that, we invite you to listen to a special video.
Good morning. My name is Gene Burke, and I've been a member of this church for, over 20 years now. It's a good church, a welcoming church, and fits my beliefs and goals in a way that is personal and very challenging on a spiritual and moral level. That's why I'm a member of the board of directors and why I chose to be on the pledge committee this year. I want this church and its ideals to succeed. That's where you come in. You see, we don't have one or two people who are providing the monetary means to keep things going, and I say thank goodness. We know where that sort of thing leads to. Instead, we have lots of people who, through their pledges, can say, "This is my church." And it is, in a very real sense. There is a tangible bond formed when you make your pledge that goes just beyond the dollars and cents. There's a sense of pride, of knowing that you're one of the people helping to make a difference in promoting racial harmony, a difference in understanding the multifaceted concerns of the LGBTQ community, and a difference in the environmental challenges that will profoundly affect the existence of humankind on this planet. Your pledge is also taking the place of the many fundraising activities we've become accustomed to. The rummage sale, the book sale, the chili cook-off, all gone because of the pandemic. Your pledge is the lifeline that will see us through until we're able to be together again in person. Next week, however, we will gather via Zoom for a congregational meeting to vote on new board members, to vote on the new budget, and to take care of other items of business. But we need you there after the service. Your church, remember? Now, if this were a PBS pledge break, at this point I'd be showing you that wonderful tote bag and how great it would look next to you as you go into Whole Foods. Sorry, no tote bag. But if you attend the June 14th congregational meeting, your name will be placed in a raffle for a really great door prize. No, they haven't told me what it is. Do you need to be present? Yes, but only virtually. In addition, rumor has it that there is a surprise regarding the pledge campaign. Come to the meeting and find out. In conclusion, I would like to thank everyone for their generosity. If you've made your pledge, thank you so much. If you've increased your pledge, again, thank you. And if you've yet to make your pledge, go ahead and do so. And remember, this is your church.
What would it take for you to understand that staying quiet isn't good enough? That you saying that you're not racist is not good enough? That being passive is the same as letting it happen? That your privileged voice could change everything? That it's no longer about left wing or right wing? Your advocacy could change real policy. Don't let your silence make you a slave to hypocrisy. You have that type of power, going back to the colonies. When we argue for change, we just get apologies. You have that privilege, that blessing, that authority. I know you don't respect or value me enough to take my word for it. So tell me what it'll take to get your attention, to be in for it. Do you want 10 of me to say it? Because I know 10 of me is worth 1 of you. Do you want a celebrity to convey it? Because when I say it, you say I only have one view. What do you want? An NFL player? A singer? A president? What do you need to believe all of this evidence? Tell me, I'll arrange it, because your voice is worth it. I'm not black, I'm Asian, but I stand with them like we were raised in the same household. That's exactly what this is. When you gotta step up, you step in. Some of you take it seriously. You feel our pain vicariously. That's the love we strive for. That's the help we need more. We simply cannot accept this anymore. We need to be unified all across the board. So tell me what I need to do for you to not ignore. We've done so much to show you all that we stand for. Take this opportunity, I implore. We've left it at your front door.
chalice lighting is one of the ways that we affirm our covenant as community. We affirm that love is our greatest purpose. Accepting one another is the truest form of faithful living. The search for truth is our constant star. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge injustice with courage, to find hope in times of fear, and to live out our Unitarian Universalist values every day as a beloved community. Thus, we covenant with each other and with all that is sacred in life. And now, Nancy Rakoff will do our new members recognition.
Morning. I'm Nancy Rakoff, the membership coordinator of our church, and I want to, on behalf of the church, officially welcome our 11 new members today. These people have all joined since this time last year. Whenever anyone new joins, it enriches our lives. They bring their talents, their interests, the causes they're interested in, and we all grow because of it. Welcome, new members. We are delighted today to welcome 11 new members to our congregation. All of these people have joined since this time last year. Whenever anyone new joins, it enriches our lives. They bring their personalities, their talents, their causes and interests, and we all grow because of it. Bob Bartelt joined us last December. He grew up as a Lutheran in Wisconsin and moved to Peoria in 1986. An entomologist retired from the USDA lab, Bob and his late wife Karen attended our church over the years. They liked the friendliness and the freedom from hardcore theology. After Karen's death in 2018, Bob decided to attend more often and soon joined. Bob is a great photographer, loves nature and travel, and spending time with family and favorite people. Amy and Scott Cardanowi became members in January, but they'd already been involved for 2 years, teaching kindergarten and first grade in the children's RE program where their daughter Elle has been in those classes. Both were raised in St. Louis and met in college. Scott is an engineering technical manager at Caterpillar, and Amy is a certified early childhood educator. Before staying home with Elle, she taught first grade and preschool in elementary schools. After moving to Peoria in 2017, Amy visited almost 10 churches before finding the UUs. They were drawn to our church because of the strong RE program under Amy Pop's leadership, and also because of the variety of music and cultural experiences available at church. They so appreciate the fundamental principles of the UU Church, as well as the openness and friendliness. As a family, they love outdoor activities and can be found coaching basketball, softball, soccer, and more. Dylan and Nicholas Shepard became a part of our membership in January this year. They had previously been involved in a UU church when they lived in Florida. Nicholas graduated from law school at the University of Illinois recently and is an assistant state's attorney. He is trained as a classical singer and plans to join the choir when they gather again. Dylan is completing a degree in computer science at ISU and is a gourmet cook. We look forward to getting to know Nicholas and Dylan more in the future. I'm sorry their pictures are not available. Camille Gabor Rodriguez and Trina Rodriguez signed the membership book also in January after attending for a few months. Camille grew up Catholic in Delavan. She works as an assistant behavioral specialist for a special education cooperative in Central Illinois. She also works at an autism clinic in Peoria. Drawn to our UU church by shared values, after attending a UU church during college, she feels they were warmly welcomed and felt comfortable being their true selves. Camille likes to hike and learn new things. She especially likes to read social commentary, poetry, fiction, and biographies. Trina has lived in the area most of her life, having been raised in Chillicothe. She's a kindergarten teacher and is working this summer to get her English language learner endorsement. Drawn to the church by the love of her life, Camille, Trina enjoys hiking, yard work, visiting new places, and going to concerts. She shares a surprising thing about herself. She can play the drums. Her favorite book genre is thrillers. Lexi Grant Zelmer has attended the church since she was a child. Her grandmother, Mary Ann Campbell, is a longtime member, and her great-grandfather was a UU minister. Lexi lived in Wisconsin after college, but moved back to Peoria to be near family in 2017. She enjoys an interesting variety in her work life, teaching in the summers at ICC, handling pre-need insurance at funeral homes, and being a director and choreographer of local theater productions. She enjoys water sports, participating in and attending musicals, Cubs games, and being a full-time entertainer to her darling son, Addison. Lexi shares surprising things about herself. She is a third-generation, only child, only girl, and she can eat an entire pizza herself and practice that talent regularly. Amy Fisher joined us in February. She and her husband Jason have 3 children and live in Washington, Illinois. Amy had visited off and on in recent years as raising her children allowed. She's interested in joining a covenant circle. We look forward to getting to know Amy and her family more in the future. Bill Ordaz and Tim Harold were both raised Catholic, but were drawn to our church because we are open and accepting of LGBTQ+. They signed the book privately during the pandemic, wearing gloves. They are active in community work in the North Valley and have hosted 12 high school foreign exchange students in their home. Bill was born in Zacatecas, Mexico, and moved to Chillicothe in 1957. He has lived in Chile, Switzerland, and Spain for his work, which is professional development. Work has taken him to 53 different countries. Bill is fluent in English, Spanish, and Portuguese and enjoys hiking and photography. Tim was raised in West Peoria, but has also lived in Phoenix and Springfield, moving back to the area for the family business in 1996. He works in accounting. Tim is very interested in historic preservation and architecture, and also walks up to 7 miles a day picking up litter, and he's added our church grounds to his route during the pandemic. Welcome, wonderful new members.
Our story today is called Red by Michael Hall, a crayon story. He was red, but he wasn't very good at it. Oh dear. His teacher thought he needed more practice. I'll draw a red strawberry, then you draw a red strawberry. You can do it. I know you can, really. But he couldn't, really. Oh my. His mother thought he needed to mix with other colors. Why don't you two get together and draw a nice round orange, they said to Olive. A really big one. A really big one. But they made a big greenish one. Wow. His grandparents thought he wasn't warm enough. Your class is making it self-portraits. Why don't you make a self-portrait? But he wasn't good at it. Everyone seemed to have something to say. Sometimes I wonder if there's really red at all. Don't be silly. It's on his label. He came that way from the factory. Frankly, I don't think he's a very bright person. Right, he's not so bright. Really, really sloppy. Of course, we'll work with him. But he didn't catch on. All the art supplies wanted to help. The masking tape thought, maybe he was broken, so I could put some tape on him. And the scissors thought, well, maybe he's stiff and I can cut him. But even with all their help, he still had a hard time. He just couldn't get the hang of it. One day, he met a new friend. Will you make a blue sky and an ocean for my boat? I can't. I'm red. Will you try? So he did. Thank you. It's perfect. You're welcome. It was great. And he didn't stop there. He made blue balls and blue jeans and bluebird and blue wells. I'm blue. He was blue. And everyone was talking. And he really was blue.
We have many joys and many sorrows, but let's start off today saying thank you. We say thank you to Summer Lively, who came to us from California. Thank you to Nancy Rakoff for introducing our new members. And Jean Burke, thank you for your wise words. And now, we'd like candles of love and support for today. Dennis Harvey, as he continues to respond well to treatments, and Johnny Dowell, as she continues to heal. We send healing wishes to Bob Renner, who's been in ill health, and Chris Cole, who is still hospitalized because of the coronavirus. We also send thank yous to our annual campaign team who have given of their time, talents, and support to lead a stewardship campaign during these difficult times. So let us be in an attitude of thoughtfulness as I read these words for meditation. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of it all. All things break and all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go, love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken word waits in darkness. And those words are by L.R. Nost. I invite you to take a moment of silent meditation.
Our offering today is supporting the work of our Black Lives banner, blue, as it's called in the Unitarian Universalists. In our offering words, I wrote today, entitled, "Today is the Day." Today in our world, people are feeling vulnerable, frightened, and heartbroken. For those who are people of color, the effects of racism and oppression are an everyday lived reality. And these feelings are not new. The call of this moment is real. As Unitarian Universalists, we are invited and challenged every day to live more deeply into our faith. The killings and protests that have occurred this past week are calling each of us to rise up, support, take a stand against the violence and police brutality that has taken place. Today is the day. Begin by confronting the things in your own hearts and lives that allowed our fellow people of color, brothers and sisters, to feel as if they have no voice. Today is the day to confront the bias that we have in our own lives. If you have felt challenged by what has happened, then do something. Get involved with the Black Lives Matter movement and come to realize what they have been trying to tell us for many years. Today is the day to step out of your comfort zone and get involved in your community. You are ready, and now is the time. If we're going to live into the vision of a beloved community, we must rise up and work side by side with the people of color. Half of our offering today will go to the Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism. Blue, it's a national ministry for and by Black identified Unitarian Universalists. It embodies a liberating community for all ages, a community that lifts up the lives and stories and the leadership of those who have been marginalized and silenced, a community that brings hope when hope is hard to find, and a community that calls us to wrestle with the gap between our theology and our practice in the world. Today, I'm asking you to join us in offering your financial support to this organization. I believe that the power and promise of Unitarian Universalism is waking up to meet fear and hate with radical imagination, transformative partnership, resilience, and joy. Thank you for your support. If you wish to make a donation to Black Lives Matter UU, please indicate that in your memo line on your check. And how can you make an offering today? This can be done by way of sending in a check, going to our website, making a financial pledge, and hit the donate button, or texting by calling 833-484-0328. Wait for the prompt and follow the instructions. We thank you for your donations.
Today's sermon is an homage to George Floyd. To pray, you can be on bended knee. To protest, you cannot take a knee. To serve and protect, you can knee a man in the neck. You can be a police officer who bends a knee, takes a knee, and serves and protects with a knee until it takes a man's life. The man said, "Mama." That was a prayer. Where is the mercy? Where is the compassion? Where will it end? What makes this time any different, white America, and the rest of us as well? Will we look back in 6 months as we have after so many murders of black and brown and red people, adults and children? From massacres of our First Nations families, murders of their young women, destruction of their sacred lands, and hijacking of their cultures. From school slayings of our most precious gift, our children of all colors. From shoddy education and worse housing that kills their spirits. For the survivors, we leave them with the loss of their childhoods to fear and insecurity. We engineer their nightmares and we kill their dreams. Will we look back in 6 months after we've been outraged and see that nothing changes? Oh, Mama, where is the mercy? Where is the compassion? Where will it end? Some people say that George Floyd is not worthy of being revered because he had a criminal record and he'd been in prison. Now, I'm not going to defend his choices beyond asking, what were the circumstances of his black life? What were the circumstances of his black life that made him desperate? He is responsible for his actions, and one of them was to try to turn his life around. Let the naysayers talk about that. Let them say that a police officer can be judge, jury, and executioner. The thing is that George Floyd's death, captured on video, became a component of a perfect storm. Perhaps sheltering in place has made many of us more introspective, more emotionally vulnerable. A virus in the form of COVID-19 swirled into our lives, and the virus of racism and hatred swept up the nation, waking us up to a reality that we have not wanted to face. But are we woke? We do not want to hear the words white supremacy, white fragility, Black Lives Matter, colonialism. But we can live with the poverty, the hatred, the desperation, our silence, complacency, and greed have visited on generations of Black, brown, red, and yellow people. Yes, let's add Asians whom we put in concentration camps and blame for the coronavirus. To the people who are silent in these times of travesty, you are silent when police brutality occurs, but you have plenty to say when riots rip this country apart. You talk about, look what those people do to their own neighborhoods. Yes, those actions are deplorable, but did you also see the intruders who came to those neighborhoods as vandals and thieves? There's been some looting in Peoria, and we now have National Guard here to help the police. There have been lootings, but how misguided are those who have been taught to hate the color of their skin and to think that someone else's success is flaunting failure in their faces? What about black on black crime? Some say. I say, what about that powerful white on everyone else crime? Where are the consciences, the ethics, the morals of those who terrorize the rest of us with their greed? Does it feel more and more as if money is more important than people right now? We're caught in some sort of catch-22, where people are expected to risk their lives to make our economy work. And if they don't go back to work, they lose their jobs and unemployment benefits. Many of the people we are calling essential workers don't even make $15 an hour. What is going to happen when these so-called heroes ask for better wages and benefits? Maybe we'll send them home with copies of the commercials calling them heroes and the thanks of a grateful nation. Oh Lord, where is the mercy? Where is the compassion? Where will it end? To the people who are silent in these times of travesty, you are silent when another black man is killed by a police officer. Or you want to say, oh, there are a few bad apples in the police departments. Like, they're good old boys, and boys will be boys. But you don't go on to say that a few bad apples spoil the good works of the whole bunch. It's easier just to turn away. After all, they terrorize people you think probably deserve it. You are vocal when it comes to paying working wages to those you consider servants of your needs. You don't care if they live in the part of town where toxic factories produce asthma and COPD, as long as you get low-cost utilities. The mostly silent majority treats people as if they are utilities that serve them. People who do the dirty work. They are the low-class citizens that we count on. and you don't want to pay a living wage so they can have a decent, safe place to live and don't have to rely on the kindness of strangers packing school lunches for poor kids. The silent ones. You don't care that there are housing projects that keep those people away from you. And you are among those who don't hire minorities, or you keep them at low-level jobs so you can be well off. You feel fine eating at places that deplore minorities and gays. Oh my Lord, where is the mercy? Where is the compassion? Where will it end? We know there are good people and those that are truly supportive of equality, who will rise to the occasion and do the work of the people. But let me tell you, one of the traits we see often in those liberal faiths and politics, we often feel that suffering is enough. Our personal suffering is enough. If something makes us cry and feel bad, we can be disillusioned into thinking we've done our part. Empathy and sympathy are not where we should stop. It is where we should begin our work. If you are thinking there's so much that needs to be done, I don't even know where to start. Do something. Choose something. Now is the time. Do something. And so we pray, O Spirit of love and life, God of many names and no names, we ask that we find the strength to do what has scared us in the past, the wisdom to move our silence from ignorance to purposeful listening and learning. We know that vigils and tears are just the beginning, and that taking action to disrupt the power and processes of hatred and greed takes strength of character and resolve. We resolve to be the people of courage and abiding love that keep on when we make a mistake, forgive when others make a mistake, and see mistakes as opportunities to grasp what is good out of what seems impossible. Make us the examples to our children and families that defy our old ways of thinking and doing, that we may become beacons of grace, light, love, and justice for all. Now that we are woke, let us be vessels of mercy and compassion. Let love rule and justice abide. Amen. And may it be so. Now, our closing hymn is We Shall Overcome, sung by Morehouse College. If you've ever been to a Heritage Ensemble concert, you know that we sing, We Shall Overcome Today. And I ask that as you sing along at home, let's stop waiting for someday. Let's make it happen today.
Our offering today is supporting the work of our Black Lives banner. We are all one. We are all one step from the edge. We are all one step from the edge of annihilation. We are all one step from the edge of the annihilation of all hatred. Go in peace.